What's up? What's up, everybody? And how's everybody doing?
It's not every day that I'm
It's your main man, R. Wilson Neal, and this is Couch Time. You know, today we got a special show for you, man, and you know, it's dedicated to friendships. First of all, I want to give honors to that on this Holy Friday. Because friendships is so vitally important, man. Really, really they are. And oftentimes it's been my experience growing up in the hood, like you establish relationships called / friendships, but as you grow and become more conscious, you come to find out, a lot of people that you used to deal with really wasn't a friend by title, by definition in my book. So I want to cover that, man, because your circle of influence, your circle of association, and your circle of control is paramount in your success in life. So you heard the term where it says, if you want to find out a lot about a person, then you need to look at the people they hang around. And that's true. So, I want to pay honors, man, to some people in my life, right, that have truly impacted me in terms of friendship. First, at the top of my list, this person that I met in 1973, I had no idea that, here we are in 2023, we would still share the same love and affection for each other that was generated shortly after we met. And her name is Brenda Dennis Winfrey. I was married to her sister. And though, sometimes we talk about titles like brother-in-law, but in my mind, this transcends bloodline. This is energy, this is love, this is real. This is a person who has, seen the best of me and certainly the worst of me. And through it all, never changed, never changed. Never treated me bad, never made me feel unwanted, unloved. And I'm talking about, this is during the time of my drug use, man, and my struggles with crack cocaine. And she saw it, the ugliness, she saw it. And never, she always was supported me, man. And like I say, even to this day. So, I think it's so important, man, to give people their flowers, roses, before their funeral. And so I'm giving you your roses, man, while you're alive to smell them, girl. This is, I want the world to know you solid, man. You a solid person, man. Brenda Dennis Winfrey, I love you. Outside of that, man, I want to talk about, man, how my daughter has impacted my life. My daughter, Ebony Shamir Wilson. I can remember the night that she was born, June the 4th, 1982, on a Friday morning at 8:50 at St. Luke's Hospital. That whole night was just, was crazy because, my wife at the time was like 6 months pregnant, and I remember that night, we were in the bedroom. We had this big old Labrador retriever mixed with a pit bull. He was a huge Zodiac. And he was crazy about her, especially when she was pregnant. Oh, and she was playing with him, in the bedroom, and then he was a big dog, so she pushed him off and said, "Oh my God, something! I got to use the bathroom." So while she was in the bathroom, I didn't really think nothing about it, but she was in there and she screamed, and when I went in there, she was spotting with blood, and I rushed her to the hospital, which wasn't far at all, because I stayed on 127th, right up Buckeye, and St. Luke's was right down the street. And I got her there, and they took her in, and they were examining her, and I waited in the waiting room, and I waited, and hours went by, and I'm like, man, what's going on? So I go in the doctor's office, and he says, you need to sit down a minute, and he basically said that your child didn't make it. It's going to be a stillbirth. She's up on the upper floors, and we're going to, deliver the baby, but it's going to be a stillbirth, and I'm sorry. And so at that point, I'm thinking, where is my wife? Because I know with this information, she got to be frantic, man. So I shot up there, and she was, and oh man, and I'm like 20, I'm probably 22, 23, oh my man. So I gotta be strong. So her robe, her ID, everything is at the house. Cause we left out in a hurry. So I got her calm, and I said, look, I'm gonna run to the house. I'll be right back. So when I shoot to the crib, I'm just looking at the nursery, man, that we had created for the child, and I'm thinking, how could this be happening? So I rush back to the hospital, and they tell me, go up on the 8th floor. I get up there, and they got the bell on her, and they say, we got a heartbeat, Long story short, at 8:50 that next day, my daughter, Ebony Shamir, was born, 2 pounds, 14 ounces. And she struggled, man, and we struggled, man. I never experienced a feeling, of anything like I did the moment she was born. I'm dead serious, man. I love at the level I could love at, really, due to how I grew up. But when she was born, something spiritual happened to me that never happened before. And it never left to this day. A connection, something, And all I just wanted to do for her is just be the best dad I could be. And she's doing well. She's doing real well today. She works for the county, has a real nice place out outskirts of Cleveland. I'm proud of her. She found her way, like she always do. I love you, kid. So yeah, so my daughter, oh man, when I, even speak of this next person, man, this defies everything that I could imagine as far as, somebody just loving you enough to be your friend through, man, I was working at Strada's funeral home, and during that time, I was wrestling with getting high, man, off crack, and it escalated to a lot of bank robberies, man, and in 2005 on May the 14th, I was arrested for multiple bank robberies that day. Well, at the time, her name was Mary Strada, and she worked at the funeral home. She wasn't the owner at the time. Tony Strada was the owner at that time. But me and her were close. And she said when she saw the news that Saturday, she was shocked. I guess like everybody was. Angered, confused, a whole lot of stuff. And it was tough, man, at that time. But here's a person who assured me that they would be there for me, the whole ride, and Mary, I want to tell you something, seriously. It's facts. You helped restore my faith in humanity, man. Because I didn't, think that anybody could be that supportive of somebody, unless you could offer them something. And at that time, I didn't feel as though I had, anything to offer you. For you to, to support me and help me the way you did. And I'll never forget you for that. And I know when you see this, you're going to be like, oh, man, why he saying? Because I'm saying it because it's true. I'm saying this because it's true. And I know you might feel like, or some other people might feel like, oh, he exploiting this, that. Man, I don't even care nothing about that. Okay? I really don't. You dig what I'm saying? I'm on some truth type of stuff, man. For real. I'm on some truth type of stuff. And regardless of how anybody else feel about it, this is my experience. You see, that I'm talking about. This is my experience with you. And in my book, man, that was really something, man, for you to do for me. And I'll never forget you for that, man. I'll never forget you for that. Again, I want to say to you, congratulations on your marriage. Congratulations on you being the owner of Stratos Funeral Home and it flourishing. Congratulations on, a good life, and in my book, again, I think, hey, man, you deserve the best. I could go on, man, but let me tell you, the one person, last but not least, let me say this, man, my wife, Sanja. Now, and, I met Sanja, when I first came home from the joint, and it was crazy that day because, my mother was in the nursing home at McGregor. She was dying. And, my mother waited on me 14 years, man. She said, I'm not going to die till my son come home. And she did. She lasted 10 months. But that particular day, it was amazing because it was on Thanksgiving. And I was in the Oriana house on 55th. I just come home. I think I've been home a month. And you get a pass, so I got my pass. And So my thing that day was to go to the nursing home and visit my mother on Thanksgiving, have dinner with her, and so forth. And my sister was coming from out of town. And, me and my sister were seriously at odds, man. And, over her treatment of my mother. That resulted, in my mind, to the tune, actually, of her death in the end. Yeah. And I was real upset with my sister. And, she called herself upset with me. And words were exchanged. And it was crazy. And so when she came to Cleveland, I knew it would be tough, man, to be in the same room with her, with how I feel, But where I've grown, spiritually, is to humble myself at times, man, and focus on the bigger picture. And the bigger picture that day was my mother and her peace of mind during the time of her upcoming death. You dig? I knew in her heart, like, she didn't want her kids at odds with each other. Like, who would? But she can't fix it. And so, I did my part. It wasn't important for me when I encountered my sister that day in the room with my mom for me to win or. No, it wasn't important. What was important was my mother to see her kids together, before she closed her eyes. And that was my focus. So when I got there, it was, yeah. And it was crazy because that particular day, we were all sitting at the table having dinner, and my sister had a stroke. Vomited on herself, everything. I got her in the ambulance. It was just a heck of a day. So when I finally left McGregor, I was supposed to go to a dinner, and I was invited to dinner by my young friend who I did my last 2 years with at Milan FCI. He invited me to dinner at his aunt's house, and I thought, okay, but after I got back to my father's house, about 4 or 5 that evening, I said I'm going back to the halfway house. I'm reeling from what just happened today. I'm looking at my dad now. The thought about his dementia is coming to play. It's a lot, man, for me to just come off of prison and encounter all this. And, so I said I'm not going to the dinner. And I remember going on the porch, man, smoking a cigarette. And my cousin Putney, came down the street. And he was like, "What's up, man? What you trying to do?" And I'm like, man, I don't know. I was supposed to be going to this dinner on 165th St. Clair. He said, "Come on, I'll run you up there." So I went up there, and I went to the dinner, and I met my future wife, Sandra. We got married. May the 27th of 2018. She changed my life, man, and I changed hers too. Why you playing? Cause But I tell her a lot of times, you know what you bought when you took it off the lot. But nah, though I was a little rough around the edges in the beginning, But I'll tell her it leveled out, and I'm cool, and I'm good. I got a good marriage, so I give honors to my wife, man, for being there for me. I give honors to her, man, and if I, and everybody, man, that supported me. So I want to say that publicly. So with that being said, I want to tackle a topic, man, that I saw on the news. That I did a story on. I think it was about 208 when it happened. The girl's name was Eve Pendleton, maybe Elaine. I'm not sure, but I know she was a majorette in Chicago, and this was during the time of President Obama's inauguration, and they were invited. Their drill team was invited to come and perform for that. And the tragedy of it all, after she performed, was that she went home and got killed in an accident, man, drive-by, And when that happened, oh man, the media just lit up with it. Here we go again, gun control. Then you got people on the other side. They don't want no guns. And it was a crazy debate, man. And it struck my heart, like, why y'all debating about all this stuff, the NRA and all these other groups, the National Association for Gun Rights Support, and and all that. And I'm saying, why y'all debating all this stuff, man? What about this girl that got killed? The focus ain't on her at all. It's on lobbying and regulating, and And we going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, batting this stuff across the net like we playing tennis, man. And to me, it's all stupidity. Because this ain't about gun control, man. It ain't. It really ain't. Because you can't control it. You can't control it, man. The only way you going to control gun control in America is do martial law and infiltrate everybody's house. You dig what I'm saying? Search and seize everybody's guns. Yeah. But even if you do that, you dig what I'm saying? You're not going to stop murder. You're not going to stop assault. You're not going to stop violence. You dig what I'm saying? Man, it ain't about gun control, man. It's about self-control. You see? We focusing on the instruments of destruction and not the element of destruction, which is the thought. Man, I was watching these people, man, worked up into a frenzy right outside Walmart, man. It's back like 14 or 15 when Walmart used to sell semi-automatic weapons. Man, they had people out here marching and protesting with the signs on, with the T-shirts, I mean, they worked up. And they gonna they won't call themselves shutting Walmart down, man. Is you crazy? Because Walmart sell semi-automatic weapons. Well, Walmart also sells hammers, shovels, picks, axe, screwdrivers, knives, chains. You dig what I'm saying? Bats, and a whole lot of other stuff that you can kill somebody with. You feel me? Yeah, they do that. But when you shut Walmart down, run down the street and close the car lots down too. You have to. You gotta. Cause didn't you see the news where somebody shot through the crowd with a car and ran over, 4 or 5 people? Yeah, cars, trucks are instruments of destruction. A bar of soap. Woo wop. Sometimes somebody's head, yeah. You gonna stop soap from being, So it ain't the instrument, it's the people behind it. You can leave a .357 9mm on the table at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, come back at 8, it ain't went off once and killed nobody by itself. So see, it's not gun control. It's self-control. You dig what I'm saying? You can't regulate that like that. And let me tell you something. When I was on the other side of the law, out here breaking the law, you think I gave a damn about a gun law, the Brady Bill? You gotta wait 5 to 7 days. I'm not waiting shit. I'm going to get me a gun. You dig what I'm saying? I'm going to get me a gun. And come on, man. I don't care. You know what hurts? You know who get hurt by these types of laws? Joe and Jane Citizen. Yeah, who want to help themselves and protect themselves, but they gotta wait 7 days. While the burglar is at the door, or coming through the window. You gotta wait 7 days. Cause see, criminals don't wait. They don't care nothing about that. They go get a gun and commit murder or robbery. So while we dilly-dallying with legislation and lobbying and going back and forth, that's ridiculous. We need to get more into people's heads, man, and hold these people accountable, for the stuff that they do. You dig what I'm saying? Because America, it's for real. America, it sometimes drop the ball on justice, man, criminal justice, especially for certain people. Yeah. Certain people. You see the news? You done committed heinous crimes, murders, and you got found guilty, and you got the death penalty, but you on death row for 20 years. So you done lived 20 years after you than kill these people. And you on death row in your cell, 23 and 1, which means you going 23 hours in and you get 1 hour for rec in an area where you watch TV and whatnot. And in your cell, you got the creature comforts of, commissary. You can cook. You in there working out. You got to watch the TV. You dig what I'm saying? For the next 20 years. Why these people dead? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm really not pro corporal punishment, capital punish like that. I'm really not. But I do understand that it's times, in my opinion, it's times where certain crimes you commit in this country, you got to go. If it was me, you got to go. You got to go. You done did too much, man. You know what I mean? You can't say, oh, wow, I'm crazy. Nah. You're in the way, man. And so, it's kind of crazy, man, to see it. It is. And what other countries, now this is going to be on some silly shit, so let's work with me on this. But other countries, they don't wrestle with that, man. No, they don't. No. Japan, Russia, China, Saudi Arabia. No, they don't. See, we sort of lenient on crime sometimes, man. Like I say, especially for certain people. But you do something in other countries, like go burn a flag over in Japan and protest. Put on your T-shirt and K-ass on out there and go against, the emperor, Go, yeah. And see what happens. The next thing that gets set on fire gonna be your ass. Believe that. They not playing. Carjack somebody in Saudi Arabia. Go ahead, carjack. And the next time you carjack somebody, you'll be driving the car with your feet. Because you ain't gonna have no hands. See, America sometimes, we patronize, people. I'm not being overly judgmental, because I done screwed up too. But I'm telling you. We got to do something about it. I mean, I work at a rehab. I work at one of the largest rehabs in Cleveland. And I see people on a continuum, day-to-day basis. Some parachuting in, out of the rehab during the course of a year, making a career out of it. Now, we can debate, is this a disease? Is this a habit? Is this learned behavior? Is it inherent behavior? Is it disposition? I don't know what it is. I know it's madness, and I know the clock ticking, and, at some point of the rodeo, game over. Should it be this easy? I don't know. But I'm going to say this. If you was a dope fiend over in Japan, you wouldn't go to the emperor and say, hey, I done relapsed, and I'm sorry, I pawned your big screen TV. Oh, no, you wouldn't relapse again. We gotta get tough. We gotta get tough, man, especially on these kids, man. I got carjacked this year, man. You hear me? At my job. I get out my car, I got a brand new Toyota. I get out my car, man. These kids running across, and it's a girl. Turns out she ain't but 14 years old. Put a gun in my head. And the two behind her, two boys behind her telling her, blow that nigga's head off, kill him, I got away. But this is what it results. You see the news? These kids killing, especially, what are they taking? These kids. I'm getting tired. Man, this is ridiculous, these kids. And the kid, they tell me the juvenile, well, he getting a year. Actually 6 months, because he getting tired. He's 13. What that got to do with it? What that got to do with it, man? You old enough to know that you harming somebody, man. It's crazy. I'm telling you, if I was a judge, man, let me tell you something. I'd straighten a lot of this shit out. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would, man. I ain't playing with you. You bring your young ass up in my courtroom when you done shot up some place or killed somebody, I'm gonna do something real big with you. Yeah, you not. Oh yeah, yeah. What was your name? AK-47. That's what you call yourself. Well, Mr. AK-47, I'm not gonna send you to prison, and you probably be ready to thank me. Oh, Judge, just give me a minute. No, I'm not gonna send you to prison. No, sir. I'm gonna send you to Afghanistan. Oh yeah, you can thank me later. See, I understand you like shooting at people, carrying guns, throwing up gang signs. Well, I'm gonna send you somewhere where you can do all that. See, the bus downstairs, and they're gonna shoot you to the airport, and by this time tomorrow, you'll be playing the running man. Yeah. Only thing is, you'll be shooting, but they'll be shooting back at you. Yeah. Man, I'm not playing. Man, listen. You done killed somebody, man. I don't care if you... Listen, I got the electric chair right in the courtroom. Okay? You're not gonna sit on death row, 20 years. I guarantee you. You won't be on death row a week messing with me. The electric chair, wheel it on in there and plug it up. Now, right after the jury say guilty, strap his ass down in it. Yeah. I'm about to turn the juice up. You're gonna get more votes than Obama got in the 2008 election. I'm gonna turn it up to the roof. You hear me? Yeah. You wanna shoot at somebody. You think it's time to quit all that hollering. Strap his ass down. Yeah. You wanna play game? I'm not playing. Man, listen. Here's what I do. In Cleveland, I had Joker scared to jaywalk downtown. I ain't playing. That's how it be. Yeah. Joker sitting at the light red. Damn, when the light gonna change? Whew, I don't know. I'm gonna wait though. Dude, man, it's cold out here, man. The light. Man, listen, I'm gonna wait, okay? I ain't, cause you see what happened to dude last week when he shot across the street on that green light, jaywalk, trying to catch the bus. They went right on the bus and got him off of it. Sure did. And the next thing, he was over in Syria. Yeah. Running for his life. I'm not playing. You gotta get tough, man, on crime, man. You gotta get tough. And it start with, it started in the home, man. We can't expect institutions outside our homes, to raise our children. You just can't do that, man. It's not practical. I remember, man, growing up in the 60s, in the neighborhood, you had bad kids. You did. Everybody, always. But you knew who you could get it off with, and you knew who you couldn't. Yeah. I remember going to school, and not only would your mother and father put hands on you, but the teacher would put hands on you. Yeah. Yes, sirree, buddy. I done seen him tighten you right up, Jack. And it was cool. It wasn't no abuse, none of that. No. Back then. See, we done got all liberal and civilized and psychological, Folks talking about when you act up, just put him in a timeout. A timeout. Let me tell you something. When I was growing up, man, my mother, Dorothy Mae Wilson, may God rest her soul, a timeout, she'd knock you out, stomp you out. Hey, man, listen, back then, your mother, man, oh, man, my mother, man, I know that was assault. It had to be. But she'd get you together. She'd get you together, man. Cause I remember I was in a store, man, and I saw this little white boy. He had to be about 5, man. I mean, he stretched out in the middle of the floor, man. And I mean, he just screaming, hollering, like a wild man. Cause his mother couldn't get in his toy, and she was like, Jonathan, Nathan Jr., come on, stop. He calling her everything with the child of God. Told her he was gonna kill her. I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, oh man. And when you get home, I'm gonna put you in a timeout. And I'm thinking while I'm watching this, like, man, if that was my mother, timeout. That she would stomp you out right there, unconscious. And back then, wasn't nobody, you could say whatever you want. Like, he shouldn't have did it. Man, but kids knew how to act because they knew what was coming. You see, when you took all that out of the corporal punishment out the schools and teachers had no more power, to regulate their classrooms, you understand, then you took away their ability to teach. Because if you don't have, first of all, you got to have security before you get anything. You're not going to have no learning in chaos. You're not. Because everybody on red alert. They tight. They everything's tight. I remember going to school, man, and I went to public school back in the 60s and 70s, man, And it wasn't no joke in the neighborhood. But then, like I said, you got teachers that wasn't going for it, man, for real. They'd snatch you right up, man, and get you together. And I think, that's really the answer to it, man. That's really the answer to it. And I don't think the answer lies more in government legislation, to try to regulate human behavior. I really don't. I think that's the carrot of illusion. To me, it's my opinion. I think we need to return back to a sense of morality and integrity and wisdom and honor. Because those things seem to have erased from the mores and folkways of society. And so, my next show gonna be on that, because I'm gonna talk about how the year 1980 impacted the whole entire world, And so, stay tuned for it. Get ready for it. It'll be out next week. And until then, man, this is Richard Wilson L. And I'm going to sincerely say peace to you all, goodwill, and stay up. Good night.